Hey Flosstube, welcome to the special edition of Creative Whims Studio. Hey everybody, I'm back with some new releases. My name is Teresa Koga. I am a cross-stitch designer and artist, and this video in particular happens to be new releases. So last year in the spring, in April, I had the Annabella's retreat in Lansing, Michigan, and then in May I had a retreat with Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. So those retreat exclusives are now available to everyone. So by the time you see this video, these patterns will be the shops will know about them and they will be able to order them. We'll start with the Annabella Retreat exclusives. Here is the Honeybee Biscornu. This was something that they had for pre-stitching. So they came to the retreat with this all stitched. And then my friend Donna Fidowa, she was there with me and she taught people, everyone there, like we took segments, you know, certain amount of people, and we put them into like the shopping annex because there were some tables in there, and she would go through all of the instructions on how to finish this Biscornu. So that was really fun. That was the first time I ever did a retreat where everyone had pre-stitching. So that was nice that they got to go home with something finished and learn something that seems to be difficult, and it's really not. Just a heads up, Nicole Spohr is going to go over the finishing of how to finish a Biscornu. You might already be doing the stitching with her. I'll put the information in the description box below and link her channel. I'm not sure how far they are into it, but they are stitching hands-on design, like red, white, and blue. And she's going to go over the finishing. So that would be a great opportunity to learn how to finish a Biscornu. I'm also going to have a link in the description box for the written instructions that I handed out at the retreat. So between the written instructions, and there's a bunch of photos included with those written instructions, between that and then watching Nicole Spohr, you should have no problem finishing any Biscornu. Okay? They are easy. And they're so stinking cute, aren't they? So this is Honeybee Biscornu. This was the first time that I designed one with two different color fabrics. I put in the pattern how important it is that you choose, like if you don't use the called for fabric that I'm showing you here and that's on the pattern, you have to make sure that you purchase fabric that is the same stitch count and by the same dyer, because all the dyers have a different process and a different way that they dye their fabric and the way they dry their fabric. And someone's 40 count might be smaller than another dyer's 40 count. And then your Biscornu won't line up and it won't work. So that's super important. I do have some instructions inside this pattern that just talks about how to begin stitching your Biscornu, you know, what's important to know about the fabric. Let me just real quick show you something. Just going to show you a corner of this pattern so that you know what I'm talking about. When you get a Biscornu pattern, there should be a line going around it. Okay, I don't know if you can really see that, but there's this line. That line is to be back stitched because, and you're going to do that on the top and the bottom, and they should be exactly the same stitch count, exactly. Because that's how you're going to join the top and the bottom together, is by slip stitching through those back stitches. So I just wanted to let you know that, because if you don't have those back stitches in, you're not going to be able to make your Biscornu. Here's the instructions that I have included. Like I said, it's not finishing instructions, but it is like how to get started. You know, before you start stitching, you should do this. And then it does talk about different fabrics if you use something other than what I used for my model. So let me give you a little close-up of what the Biscornu looks like. This is kind of a big Biscornu. Well, I guess it's probably about the same size as my Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu. I have it right over there. I might grab that for you so you can look at it. But I really love the use of 2 different fabrics on this Biscornu. Now, and here's the bottom. Let me show you the bottom. Isn't it pretty? It's just so pretty. These bee pins are from Susan Proctor. She's on Etsy. I will link her below. She is the aunt. I say aunt. She's the aunt of the Primrose Girls, and obviously the sister of their mother. So it's super cute, and these fabrics are very easy to work with. These are Witchelt. What is the Witchelt? Let's see. It is Desert Sand for the top and Chalkboard Black for the bottom. This is 32 count linen. But I think it's really cute with all the little bees flying around. And then this is what your pattern will look like. It's nice because it shows all, you know, the top and the bottom and the different sides of Biscornu. I'm going to grab Newcastle Bouquet so you can see it. I have designed a total of, like, that are out, out in the wild. I believe it's 4. So I have, this was my very first one. So this is Newcastle Bouquet Biscornu, and that moth, hold on, my camera's wigging out on me. There we go. So it's that super popular moth. And then on the bottom is the design that's in the border on Newcastle Bouquet sampler. Yeah, this one, the colors just get me. I love this one. And I have it sitting on a little pedestal. I'll have to show it to you. So I have it in my studio, sitting like it's the queen of all Biscornus on a little pedestal. Oh, and a heads up that Chantelle, I will link her below as well, she has designed pedestals for your Biscornus. So she has 2 different sizes. I think both of them are smaller than this one. I don't even know where I got this little riser. I have no idea. But isn't it cute like that? So I have these 2. I guess they're about the same size. Yeah, they're about the same size. And then I have 2 small ones. Dwelling Place, that sampler, had a couple smalls, like a little pillow and a little baby Biscornu. And then in the Harvest Friendship booklet, that also has a little baby Biscornu in it. Those are much smaller, but I have those packed away, so I can't show those to you. So anyway, that is Honeybee Biscornu. That was from the Annabella's retreat last year in Lansing, Michigan. Boy, was that a fun retreat. Oh, we had so much fun. Then we had the 2 main pieces. I'll show you them individual first. Which came first? I think this one came first. This one is called Bee Garden. These are finished on Chantelle 141 boards. I think it's called, is it the Everything board? I don't know, but I will link it below. So anyway, she created these for me, and she painted them for me for this retreat. This is, the stitch count on this is 135 by 145. It was stitched 2/2 on 32 count linen. So I stuck with 32 count linen for all these designs. Yeah, it's so cute. So there's a little story that goes with this, and I'm gonna just read that to you, and it is in the pattern. Miss Molly lives in a mustard-colored house in a small, quiet village. She loves to garden, but loves bees even more. She spends as much time as possible tending to the flowers and the honeybees. Her pride and joy is making and selling honey to people in the village and neighboring villages. She does quite well, making enough money to sustain a humble life and to be able to purchase all the needlework charts and supplies her heart desires. When she's not in the garden, she can be found in her nest, stitching the night away. There's little Miss Molly, standing on her bee skep, watering the flowers. Oh, it's so sweet. I don't have all of the numbers included in this chart for you to be able to change the year on that. However, I will chart that and put it on my website for you. The next one is called Honey. This one, the stitch count is 140 by 141. Stitch 2 over 2 on 32 count linen. This was stitched by Nicole Dunn. I forgot to tell you that that Biscornu was stitched and finished by Donna Fidowa, of course, my Biscornu queen. And then Bee Garden that I showed you with Miss Molly, that was stitched by Mary Schreiner. I forgot to mention that, and that is important to share. I thank my model stitchers always because I couldn't do what I do without them. All right, so 32 count Latte by Zweigart. So this has one Classic Colorworks and one Weeks Dye Works, and then the rest are DMC. So there's also a little blurb in here for this piece. The story. Miss Molly also has an eye for design. She loves to create unusual and fanciful potted flower bouquets incorporating her handmade bead skeps. Her creations are pleasing to the eye. So much so, she often hosts garden parties for her stitchy friends as well as offers tours to villagers near and far. You could say Miss Molly is as busy as a bee. Last but not least in this lineup, this was not a design that I had planned on giving to everyone at the Annabella's retreat, but sweet Nicole Dunn. So Nicole stitched the honey. She stitched this one for me, and she was such a doll. She wanted to make me a gift, so she made this. Such a treasure, this adorable needle book. And so she changed up the pattern of the honey that I just showed you, and she, instead of having these be white because they weren't going to show up on the linen, she changed them to a pink color, and she just adjusted the pattern to fit in this oval, and then she made this adorable needle book. Look at that trim. Oh my goodness, it's so delicate and dainty and feminine. I love it. Little chain stitch in there to hold the wool in place. Look at this beautiful little fabric print. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So it folds in half, and then it's got a little tie here. So that cute, adorable needle book is also available. It's called Honeybee Needle Book. Let me give you the information and I'll kind of tell you the story. So she stitched this 1 over 2 on 46 count oatmeal linen by Zweigart. The stitch count is 140 by 76. So let me just read the story. Nicole Dunn is one of my amazing model stitchers. She stitched the honey model. When she sent it back to me, she included this gorgeous needle book along with a sweet note that read, "Dear Teresa, was inspired by your design to make this needle book. I finished it with an antique lace edging I had. My mother-in-law started a tradition in our family of giving happy day presents whenever she found something that she wanted to give with no occasion to give it. So here is a happy day present for you. Hope you enjoy. Nicole. I was overwhelmed by her generosity. About 2 weeks before the retreat, I reached out to her to ask her permission to chart the needlebook and offer it to you. She said she'd be honored. I hope you enjoy stitching, finishing, and using your Honeybee needlebook. Is that just not the sweetest? So even if you did it on 40 count, you know, it'd be a little bit bigger. And then, you know, it would just, depending on what size needlebook you want, you could do 36, 32, whatever count you want. But it's just the sweetest gift. And here's the little note card that she sent. And I love this note card. I keep all this together because I love it so much. Look at this little folk art. It says shoe fly pie. It's a little recipe on it. Isn't that sweet? So what I really love too is that she wrote the note on a separate sheet of paper because she didn't want to write on this adorable card. She's just the sweetest. So yeah, Nicole, you're a treasure. I so appreciate your generosity and your talent. Yes. So darn precious. This is a treasure for sure. And then here is what the cover looks like. It shows it open, shows the back of it, the inside, and then what it looks like closed. So cute. I know how people just love bees. Bees, like that theme is not dying down. You know what I mean? It was very prevalent at market and it continues to be a theme that people love to stitch. So I'm very happy to finally be able to offer these designs to you guys. Okay. The next retreat that I went to as a guest designer was at the Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. Paula and Carlton, as you know, are my framers. And I was so excited to do this retreat because I love them. And I was just excited to be able to do that retreat with them. So I immediately started thinking about what I would design for them. So give me 1 second here. These are the 2 pieces that I designed for the Craft Gallery. Aren't they just the sweetest? So this is Molly and Polly, and I will read you their story. So her dress says, just a girl with needle and thread. And then her cousin, Polly, her dress says, making beautiful things. So just a girl with needle and thread making beautiful things. Isn't that just perfect? It's perfect for stitchers and for quilters. I just love this. All right, let's go over each one of them. This is stitched 1/2 on 32 count paper bark by Fox and Rabbit. Stitch count 115 by 115. The finished size on 36 count is 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. This has 3 classic colorworks, 2 weeks dye works, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 DMC. This was stitched by Mary Schreiner. It's finished on a Chantelle 141 board. I painted it black, sanded it down, and then I used Storm Rick Rack and the 1/2 inch ruler ribbon by Lady Dot Creates. And it's so adorable. So let me read you the story of Molly and Polly. And this is also included in the chart. Okay, so let me just show you. This is wobbly because I did not glue that in there, which I need to do. I didn't glue it in there because I wanted to be able to store it flat because I knew I wasn't going to release the pattern, you know, for a whole year. So anyways, but when you do yours, you want to glue that into the base so that it's not wiggly. Okay, let's go over the little story here. Molly. She's just a girl with needle and thread, making beautiful things with her cousin Polly. Oh my gosh, my dog is barking at a squirrel. Hopefully it's not too loud. They live in a small town in Michigan just down the road from one another. Every Thursday, do you get that reference? Every Thursday. So every Thursday we have our grandkids. So every Thursday they spend the day together stitching, sewing, knitting, painting, or whatever creative whims come their way. Their mothers are sisters. They carried on the tradition of spending at least one day a week together making beautiful things, which they learned from their mother. This tradition has been handed down from one generation to the next, dating back to the 1800s. When Molly and Polly were little girls, they would play while their moms made quilts or stitched the day away. As the cousins grew older, they joined their mothers in their creative endeavors. Molly and Polly hope to have daughters one day, so they too can carry on the tradition of making beautiful things. Polly's holding an antique sewing machine. She's got a little quilt star there, a little quilt block I should say, and a little tomato pin cushion standing on a spool of thread, a little stork scissors, and a needle. A couple little X's there too. Their little faces are so sweet. So basically it's the same size and on the same fabric as I said before, with the same floss colors. So stitch 1/2 on 36 count paper bark by Fox and Rabbit. Stitch count 115 by 115. The stitch size is 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. Did I say who stitched that? Yeah, that was, okay, so that one, this one was stitched by Donna, I believe. Yes. Stitched by Donna Fedowa, finished by me with a Chantelle 141 board, painted it black and sanded it storm blue rickrack and the 1/2 inch vintage ruler by Lady Dot Creates. Super cute. So she has morning glories on hers, which I love. Also inside there's a little blurb about inspiration. And I didn't read the other one about Molly, but this one says, Polly is a new character for my designing adventures. She is the cousin of Miss Molly. I introduced Miss Molly in December at the 2022 Jingle Ball. Polly is more like a sister than a cousin to Molly. They grew up together sewing, stitching, knitting, crafting, and more. They are cut from the same cloth, so to speak. Well, that does it for this video, guys. I'm so excited about these releases. I know Molly and Polly have been something that a lot of people have wanted to stitch ever since the retreat. I've had numerous emails asking when that would be released. So I'm excited to finally be able to offer that to you and to your shops. So yeah, if you're interested in any of those, get a hold of your favorite online shop, or please support your brick and mortar. If you have one, please go to them. We need to support them and keep them in business, okay? So thank you for watching, and thank you for your support and your love and your comments. I appreciate all of that. And don't forget, create every day. Bye.